Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sonia Ibel. So before you go ahead to start the 2026 Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Programme application, there are a few things I need to call to your attention concerning the foundation and the applicants that they actually fund at the end of the day. That's the businesses that they actually focus on. So I took my time to go through the fact sheet. Actually, I tried to see if I could get from 5 years back, but I couldn't actually get what I was looking for. So I only got that from 2023 to down to 2025. So if you check the chart, you find out that the top 10 sectors that Tony Elumelu actually funds include agriculture, fashion, ICT, manufacturing, commercial rentals, education and training, food, beverages, healthcare, energy and power generation, then waste management. And at the top of that list is agriculture. So basically, agriculture actually gets over 30% from all the applicants and businesses that get funded every year. So if you check from 2023, you find that from 2015 down to 2023, agriculture has always gotten over 30% of the shares of the businesses that get funded every year. Then followed by fashion, ICT and manufacturing, before you can talk about commercial or education. So but the main businesses that actually get a higher share of the funds that come from Tony Elumelu every year is businesses that is in agriculture. So if you also check down to 2024 is also 33%, while ICT actually climbed up a bit. But then something remarkable changed in 2025, which was last year. Now, agriculture is being divided into two, because I need to explain this agro business because I actually had to go and make a research about it, try to find out what is the difference between business, agro business and agriculture. So agro business are actually businesses in agriculture that, let's just say, businesses or companies that process agricultural produce. You know, when you talk about agriculture, you talk about agriculture is broad. It covers farming, fishing and the rest of it. Now, agro business are businesses that, let's say for instance, you're into food processing or food packaging. That is another place that they are actually paying more attention to. So from the research I made, they said agriculture includes crop production, livestock rearing, fishing, forestry. But the most important thing I need to look at right now is the business side. That's the agro business, because it's one of the leading places that Tony is actually funding. That's the place they funded more of in 2025. So for the agro business, we talk about commercial farming. That's processing, like when you convert cassava to garri, packaging of flour, maybe beans, grinding of beans, those kind of things. Or maybe you want to start packaging crayfish, melon, egusi, whatever it is. Then packaging and branding, storage and warehousing. So I'm mentioning this to see if maybe you have an idea, a business idea from this aspect that you could actually present for this particular application. Distribution and export. Of course, we have a lot of Nigerians and Africans right now that are in diaspora. So you might decide to pitch a business that actually goes in line with these things. Then input supply, like seed, fertilizer, machinery, financing and agro-business consulting. So basically, agro-business equals to farming plus business strategy and profit focus, right? Then every other thing falls into others got 12%. Agriculture notwithstanding, so if you put it back together, it's still at 30%. So agriculture is still leading in 30%. Then fashion, ICT, manufacturing, education and training, healthcare, commercial and rentals. If you even check now, commercial and rental was pushed down because it was before some other ones before. Then people that is going into food, instead of going into food proper, like food and beverages, you can talk about agribusiness. I think that is going to be one of the places that could actually benefit you as long as this program is concerned. Now let's talk about people that is actually eligible for this particular program, because yes, a lot of people want to apply for the program, but they have questions. What is their age bracket? Yes, you must actually be 18 years and above to actually apply. You must be 18 years and above, and you must have an approved mix of identification, like government approved mix of identification. And businesses that this particular foundation funds is majorly businesses in idea stages. When I did my entrepreneurship program, my business was in an idea stage. Basically, I utilized the money for the stuff I actually said I'm going to be using it for anyway. So my business was in an idea stage. So your business has to be an idea that has not been executed, or you're just starting up your business. But if you're looking for money to grow your business, and you're looking for growth money, Tony is not going to be giving you that. I'm sorry. So your business should basically be on an idea stage, and it has to be a business that is for profit, and it has to be focused in one business area too, and it has to also be your original idea. Now let's look at businesses and people that are not actually eligible for this. So basically, if you are affiliated with Tony Elumelu Foundation, you're not eligible for the program. If your family members are affiliated with Tony Elumelu Foundation, you're not eligible for the program. If you're a research institute or faith-based organization, when we talk about faith-based organization now, we are talking about, do you own a church or a mosque or a prayer house? You are not eligible for this program. But if you have a business idea, so you can actually leave your mosque or your church aside and apply as a business owner that has a business idea or that just started a business. But if you're going to be applying with a church or a mosque, I'm sorry, you are not eligible for the program, right? So the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program is actually in 5 different phases. The first phase of this program is the application phase. And trust me, even though I've won this program, if you ask me to do it again, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but yeah, I rather get disqualified at the application phase than getting disqualified at either the financials or business plan or the pitch video stage, because I know the time it actually takes to actually get to that place and get disqualified. So anything that makes you get to the business plan, finish and get passed over, and qualify for the video pitch, pray to everything you start, pray to your God that you get the seed grant. The application phase is open from 1st of January to 1st of March, even though the mail I got from them said something about 28th or 22nd of March, but let's stick to the one that is on their official website, which is 1st of March. Now this phase is where you, obviously, if you're new on their site, which basically majority of people are, apart from the ones that have applied for before, so you create an account on their page, because some people think you just go straight to creating to starting the application phase. No, you need to actually register on their site before you can proceed. It's based on your registration, which I'm going to do another video to actually walk you through the registration phase of this. That's the application phase of this particular program. So the application phase is where you talk about your business or your business idea, how and what makes your business unique more than others, and you talk about your break even and every other thing I'm going to talk about in that phase. Now, once you click submit application, you're going to be assigned a unique code, And that unique code is what you're going to be using throughout the program. That's if you get accepted into the mentorship program. But immediately you submit your application, you're going to be getting an email immediately to tell you if you qualify to go into the training phase or if you are actually being dropped, because your deciding factor is immediately. That's for the application phase. So if you're being rejected, they're going to tell you you're being rejected. If you're being accepted into the training, that's the flagship training phase of the program, they're going to tell you immediately. So I think the onboarding section is usually either ending of March or first week of April. But once the application phase closes, if you're being invited, that if you're being accepted into the program, they're going to talk about it and send you a mail with the YouTube link or wherever they are going to be having the onboarding section. So those that is being accepted into the program, you are going to be gaining full access to the TELF business training, artificial intelligence training, green business training. But for those that is not accepted into the program, if you're not eligible for the program, they're going to send you a mail immediately, and there's a free training on their website that they are going to be directing you back to. For those that is willing to actually learn, at least gather one or two ideas to be able to run their businesses, especially those that probably did not study business administration in school. For those that will be accepted into the program, you have to bear it in mind that once you get that message that you have been accepted into the entrepreneurship training and the flagship training phase of the program, you need to start getting every other thing that you did not have ready, like having to go and register your your business under Corporate Affairs Commission if you don't have a business name registered already. So you need to start preparing your business plan. You need to start making researches about video pitch, even though you might or you might not make it to that phase. But once you get accepted into the program, you know that, okay, now I am balanced. I actually like what they are doing right now. I don't know when they started it because I've not been following this program for a while now. Let's say the last time I actually followed was 2022 when I actually coached people before I went to school. So I've been focusing in school. I finished my school last year. That is why I'm back, right? So I actually like the fact that they screen a lot of people out in the first phase, which is the application phase. Other than allowing them finish application phase, then go into training phase, and after the training phase, before now, that is where they do the sweeping. But if they are doing sweeping during the first phase, which is the application phase, is better, because if you do not make it, okay, let me focus on other things in my life. If you made it to the next phase, you're like, okay, thank God, I need to start preparing for this, right? So once you are actually accepted into the program, it is required of you that you develop a comprehensive business plan and financial using the template that they will provide for you. Because once you get accepted, and I think during the training phase, after the training phase, they're going to send you a business plan and financials to work on. Then you will be also advised to actually prepare a 2 to 3 minutes pitch video, which obviously is going to be reviewed by a third party, not basically them. Now let's talk about the training phase of this program. Like we've already established, once you send your application in, you're going to be receiving a mail that will tell you if you're actually accepted into the flagship program or being rejected. So those that receive the mail of congratulations that they've been accepted into the flagship program, you're automatically being required to read all the training materials and complete all the multi-choice questions that will help them track your performance. And in addition, you'll be paired with a mentor who is going to support you throughout the program. For the last time, when I did mine in 2021, we had mentors, and I think the mentors was assigned to us. How did they even assign? I don't remember how those mentors were assigned to us, but obviously I know we were assigned with mentors. That was in 2021, but in 2022 there was nothing like mentors. I think they scrapped it for that 2022, and I've not been following. So right now, if they've restored back the mentorship part of it, that's great. So once you get into the training phase, automatically they are going to assign you with a mentor that is going to help in guiding you throughout the process. So eventually, after the training phase, you are actually required to apply the knowledge and experience you gain during those training periods to develop a comprehensive business plan and financials using the templates that TEF is going to be providing for you. I want to let you know that it's not everybody that started the training phase will make it to the last stage of this program. That is why I said initially that it's better for me I get disqualified at the application phase than actually getting disqualified at the pitch decks phase, right? Because not everybody that started the training will make it to the business plan and financial stage, and not everybody that made it to the business the business and financial stage will make it to pitch video. Not everybody that made it to the pitch video stage will make it to the seed capital disbursement phase. So is at every stage of it, you keep praying hard that once you cross this particular stage, pray very hard and do everything you need to do. Pay attention to details to be able to make it to the next stage. Why I'm emphasizing on this is so that in case you look at it and you feel like, man, this thing is too much it's going to be a lot of work for me for a seed capital of $5,000. So you can know if you're actually prepared for it, so you don't end up dropping on the way when it becomes very hard. That is why I'm taking my time to explain this to us. Now, all applicants selected after the application phase are expected to begin their process of registering their business and opening a business account. However, that's where I want you to pay attention. Only participants who successfully submitted their business plan, financials, pitch video before the given deadline will be granted access to submit the business bank details. Obviously, if we all know that Tony Elumelu is the chairman and the founder of UBA Bank, and I know that UBA Bank is actually present in some countries, so I don't actually know the country you're watching this video from, but if UBA is available in the country where you're watching this video from, that means once you get accepted into this program, it is required of you that you start making arrangements on how to register your business name. And if you already have a business name registered, it is required of you that you start making plans to register a business account. So, and that business account has to be registered in UBA Bank. So from this screenshot I shared, from this slide, you can see list of countries that has UBA. So Benin Republic, which is the country I'm currently in, has UBA. So Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Congo, all these countries have UBA. So if you're from any of these countries and you're being selected to participate in the flagship program, you're expected to have or to start registering your business name if you have not registered it yet, and then proceed to have a business account opened with UBA. But if your country is not listed here, you are actually permitted to open your account with any other bank, reputable bank in your country. So let's look at the requirements that you actually need for this particular program. For the government approved means of identification, you need either your national ID card, your national driver's license, your permanent voter's card, or your international passport. Now, you also need to register a business, which means you need your business document/certificate, which is not a must. You must have this particular one when you're starting your application. So if you make it to the next stage, it is required that you have this. Now, you need to get evidence of tax registration. Once you get your business registered and get your certificate or document, it is required of you to go and file a tax with this particular business name that you registered and get a TIN number, that's a tax identification number. Now, when you have opened a bank account with this particular business name that you registered, let's just say, for instance, okay, my business name, one of my business names is Zonia Foods. So let's say I'm applying to Tony Elumelu with Zonia Foods, and I've registered it under Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria. I need to go to FIRS. I think they've said they have changed their name. I'm not storing the name they said they changed to in my head right now. So I need to go there and file my tax and get a TIN number, that's a tax identification number for Zonia Foods, which I've actually done anyway, by the way. Then I will have to proceed to go to bank, to a UBA branch, to go and open a business account with Zonia Foods. When I've opened the business account with Zonia Foods in UBA, because obviously if I'm operating from Nigeria, that means I have to go to a UBA account bank. Then I have to request for a bank reference letter, which bears the name of this business that I registered, which bears Zonia Foods, right? So the manager of the bank or whoever wants to get there and tell them you're looking for a bank reference letter, they will ask you for some details, which include maybe your house address and some, I can't remember. I mean, it's since 2021, so I can't really remember a lot of information I used to get my letter, my bank reference letter. So if your business is not just run by you alone and you have somebody else that is doing the business with you, so you need to get a consent form from your partner to say that yes, this business is actually, I'm aware that this person is using this business to apply for this program, and you need to get your partner's ID card. So now those that have liabilities are required to get a medical report, but that is not necessary if you don't have any liability. So I did not have any liability when I applied for the program, so I wouldn't know so much about that one. Now, one thing you need to pay attention to when I talk about paying attention to details is to make sure that the picture on your ID card that you're using to register, that means your passport, your international passport, your permanent voter's card, or any of it actually matches with the image that they are going to be seeing in your pitch video, which means it is you that has to be on the pitch video. It is same you that is on that pitch video that they want to see in the ID card that you are using to apply for this particular program. So the business name that you register, for instance, for me right now, Zonia Food. I have, like I said, I have many business ideas. So I have different business names. So I think what I started this conversation with is Zonia Food. So let me stick to Zonia Food. So my business name, Zonia Food, has to be the name on the reference letter. It has to be the same name on my CAC document. That's my business registration document. And the evidence of tax registration has to be the same name. So my business name has to bear Zonia Food. My reference letter that I'm getting from UBA has to be Zonia Food, because it's Zonia Food I'm using to open the account, not Sonia Abel. Now, when you're also going to get your evidence of tax registration, it also has to bear the same name. It has to rhyme. Now, your uploaded business plan must also align with the application you submitted. So if I pitched Zonia Foods, basically Zonia Food, I've talked about it in a few of my videos, my old videos. I said I was using it for food processing and packaging and exportation based on the Japa business that is actually going on in Africa, right? So the idea I use in registering for application on Tony Elumelu has to be Zonia Foods. Now, when I'm doing my business plan has to be on Zonia Foods. Now, when I'm doing my pitch video, the business I'm pitching in my 2 to 3 minutes video has to be the Zonia food, which is about food packaging and branding and exportation. And yes, people like us, which are already alumni of Tony Elumelu, cannot apply 2 times, because once you're being funded by Tony Elumelu, you cannot apply for that same program again. Now, I want you to understand that the fact that you went through the stress of submitting all this document that is actually required of you is not 100% guarantee that they are going to select you for seed capital. It's just about trial and error. Because one thing about Tony, he has always said it. He will tell you that it's a product of luck. I think I also use that word sometime, because even me, when I applied for the program, I knew there are people that was better than me, but I won the grant anyway. That's to tell you that it's not about how good you are. It's not about how magnificent you think, or out of this world you think your business idea is. They might still reject it. And when they reject you, please do me a favor. Don't be down on yourself. You are just probably not what they are looking for at that moment. And that does not mean that because you did not get selected for the program, does not mean that your business will not grow. Does not mean that you're not going to get money to actually grow your business. Just bear in mind that submitting those documents is just you fulfilling the requirement for the program, but not 100% guarantee that you will be selected because you provided all the document that is required of you. Do you get? So all submitted documents will undergo a meticulous review. The theft audit team will thoroughly review and audit each participant details and uploaded documents. Try to stick to being authentic, being your real self, because originality most time is actually what wins. So be you, just do you. Don't try to say, oh, maybe I did not go to school. Just say everything you need to say in that your cut and join English. They will understand it that way, because if they are looking for business in idea stages, that means they are not looking for professionals. That's why you have to do it by yourself. And that is the reason why I try to make videos to break this whole thing down to a layman understanding, so that it is easy for comprehension and it will help you understand the program, and it also reduces the tension, right? That's why I'm putting my efforts to actually do this video. So all participants who has completed all required steps and whose business bank account, bank details, and business document has successfully undergone the mandatory done audit review and receive endorsement. So the fact that you submitted all your documents while it undergoes the mandatory audit review, it has to receive endorsement from the theft audit team for you to be able to receive seed capital. So if the theft audit team reject everything, or even reject maybe just your video, the pitch video that you did, which is basically the last stage before the selection for disbursement, that alone can disqualify you. So that's why I always say it's better you disqualify me in the first stage, which is application stage, than disqualifying me in the pitch video stage, right? So they has to be the one that audits. And if they not endorse your business idea or your business, that is when you are eligible to actually receive funding from Tony Elumelu into the bank account, the business bank account you open. They don't pay to any other bank account. They cannot pay to your personal account. It has to be a business account you registered with the business name that you told them about, right? And at the end of it, they're going to issue you a certificate of completion and achievement. Now, I've run through this stage to the end, but let me recap this area again because the slide just came in. So once you're successfully onboarded into the program, you are automatically moving to the stage of the business management training. So you can call it a mini MBA, right? So everyone that is actually onboarded into the training, the business management training, is being given a template for the business plan and financials. So they will review the assessments on based on their different and their relevant metrics, including the feasibility and sustainability of your business. Now, so let me give you a breakdown of I had to actually use ChatGPT to tell you, to explain for those that don't understand what visibility means. So visibility, it answers only one question. So the one main question that visibility answers is, can this idea realistically work? It checks whether an idea is visible right now with what you have and what exists around you. So visibility looks at technical visibility. Do you have the skill, tools, and technology? Financial visibility. Can you afford to start and run it? Market visibility. Are people willing to buy it? Operational visibility. Can you actually manage it daily? Legal visibility. Is it allowed by law? So let's just say you want to start poultry business. Do you have land or space? Can you afford feeds and chickens and chicks? Is there demand for egg and chicken? If yes, that means your business is visible. So visibility equals to, can the business start and function? Then sustainability answers a different question. Can this idea last and grow without collapsing? Remember, businesses that are being funded by Tony Elumelu, they actually monitor it to see if it can be able to sustain 5 years, because there is this saying that any business that survives the next 5 years has a potential for growth. So is your business sustainable? Can this idea last and grow without collapsing? It looks at long-term survival, not just starting. So sustainability look at financial sustainability. Will it keep making enough money? Environmental sustainability. Will it damage the environment? Social sustainability. Does it benefit people and community? Operational sustainability. Can it survive inflation, shock, inflation, climate, or competition? Example, your poultry business, can it survive feed price increase? Can you manage disease or losses? Because yes, and chicks dies a lot. If you run a poultry business or a bird business, you know what I'm talking about. Are you reinvesting profit? Are you avoiding practices that destroy lands and water? If yes, it is sustainable. So sustainability equals to, can it survive long term and adapt? So thank you, ChatGPT. So these are some of the metrics that Tony Elumelu is actually going to use to judge your business before. So program participants must submit their business plan by the required deadline to be eligible to consider for the next phase of the program. So when you submit your business plan and financials, they will now use their metrics to assess and review it. So upon reviewing of it, the top scoring participant from this stage will be notified by mail and will now proceed to the pitching competition stage. Now, other ones, a lot of people also are going to be disqualified at this stage. That's the business plan and financial stage. So the ones that are being selected, that's the top scoring people, depending on how many persons they actually intend to move to the next phase. And you actually might do very well at your own phase and they still disqualify you or drop you, and you don't have to worry about it, because it might just be that they had you might just, let's just say, maybe on your scoring list you scored, they are planning on taking 50% to the next phase of the pitching competition, and you actually score 51. Do you understand? So it is very competitive. The program is tense, but it also help you learn one or two and open your eyes to business itself. I wouldn't say, because basically I don't know if I plan to do business administration in school till after Tony Elumelu. So after Tony Elumelu, then I did Flourish Africa. It was after then that I actually decided to go to school and do business administration, because I want to go for an MBA and actually have a PhD in business administration too. So the idea started with having to do entrepreneurship training. And why did I even do Tony Elumelu in the first place was because I wanted to start a business. I was looking for funds to start a business until my friend told me about the only place you can actually get funds right now is, why not just try Tony Elumelu, because no company actually gives loan in Nigeria. Voila, that was how I started and I did Tony Elumelu, and here we are today. So moving on. Now, the people that are top scoring people from the business plan stage are the ones that is going to be moving to pitching competition stage, where they will pitch their business plan to a panel of judges or submit their pitch video. Basically, it's going to be pitch video, except you're being selected. And I don't know if there is actually, if they do that, I don't know. Like I said, I just resumed. I stopped following anything about Tony Elumelu since 2022. I just got back. So now, top scoring participant from this pitching phase, after you have pitched, you've sent in your 2 to 3 minutes video. Those judges are going to watch it, and they are going to score you based on how visible, again, and sustainable your business is. Right? So the top scoring participant from pitching competition will be selected based on predetermined selection categories. Predetermined. Yeah. They also have their own, which they don't disclose. So and those people now that are being selected, that's the top participant in this pitching phase, are the ones that is going to be receiving the seed capital. So the program participant who were not selected for pitching competition will to receive the seed capital will be notified via mail, and now they can now categorize or classify themselves as deaf trainee, but not deaf alumni. Yeah, that's the difference. We are the alumni. Let me say that they pay us money, but it's fine. It's a name that can take you places, by the way, and is an honor, because it's not easy to actually get selected from the pool that get rejected every year on this Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. Any program participant who does not complete this stage of the program will be removed from the program and be notified via mail. Now, the seed capital. The selected entrepreneurs from the pitch competition will be notified via mail. Disbursement of seed capital will be made via electronic transfer. Now, when it would have been better, many of us were saying would have been better if we were paid the $5,000, in dollars. That way I would go to Bureau de Change and change it to bigger money. So as at 2021, when I won, basically they sent us 2 million and maybe 20 something thousand. It wasn't up to 200 or 100. But then if I've given it to me and I exchange it, I knew how much dollar equivalent was. But because it has to go through UBA has to use their own exchange rate to exchange the money, and it's not going to be the same thing that you might think $5,000 will be in your Bureau de Change. When you are being selected to receive this fund, don't expect that Tony Elumelu is going to be giving you exact equivalent of $5,000. No, the money might not be up to, but one thing is for sure: as long as you follow the due diligence, do everything that is required of you to do, be rest assured that you're going to get your money. So the disbursement of the seed capital will be by payment into the selected entrepreneur's business bank account within 60 days after receiving complete and accurate business registration document and bank details for the subsequent initiation of seed capital. So selected entrepreneurs will be required to, definitely we've talked about it, he has to open a bank account, because the money is going to be paid only in US dollar or in your local currency. But he has to do a due diligence. I don't remember how we did this, but a due diligence will be carried out. But if you've made it to this stage, every other stress is worth it, because you're starting at the end of the day, you're going to be receiving your money. So that will be so much to actually worry about. So that will be all for this video. I'm sorry that the video is long, but I needed you to understand everything you need to know about this program before you start applying. So in my next video, I'm going to walk you through the application phase of this program and try to explain one or two, especially in your business industry phase of the application, because there is some questions that I need to be able to break down to a layman understanding. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. That means you are actually learning, you are actually interested in doing this program, and you probably love being here. So thank you. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, like. If you know other people that actually apply for this program or intend applying for this program or have many questions to actually understand the program in a nutshell, please share this video link with them, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you can actually get notification for anytime I actually post a video. And